Josh Warrington, the Leeds Warrior, is very unlikely to have a year that's going to resonate the same as the one he had in 2018. He could go on to prove one of the great featherweights of all time, and yet the fact he became the first ever world champion in the city of Leeds is enough to brand yourself in the history books, and is a moment, of course, that he'll never forget. He also happened to cap the year off with a thrilling victory in which he was, I think, a little bit of an underdog again against Carl Frampton. So it was just an amazing breakthrough, unforgettable and historic year. He can definitely have a better year though than the one he had last. Fought twice again. One of them against a throwaway opponent, achieved a rare KO victory. And then the other was a serious defence against Kid Galahad. Horrible fight, awful. We can all be thankful there will never be a rematch, but a lot of people felt Kid Galahad deserved to win with his spoiling tactics. He arguably landed more clean shots. It was a very close fight, but because people felt Galahad won, at least a big percentage, it hasn't done a lot for Warrington's reputation, which has never been that great anyway. He is always going to be fighting tooth and nail for, I think, respect from the masses. The fact he doesn't have big power at the world level is always going to count against him. Even if you're a big critic of the guy though, you have got to respect that willingness to want to fight the best and ultimately unify in a pretty competitive division. He wanted to fight WBO champ Oscar Valdez. That belt now is in the possession of somebody with a very different style to the slugging Mexican, the highly talented Shakur Stevenson. Notably younger than Warrington, at 22, a little bit bigger. And even though technically now he's a world champ after completely dominating Joet Gonzalez over 12 rounds, he is yet to have his real first big taste of the big time. So he is going to be full of ambition, and I think he will happily take on the Warrington fight if the opportunity presents itself. Shakur Stevenson, extensive amateur pedigree. I think he's only something like 13, 14 fights in, but so poised, so polished. From the southpaw stance, he knows how to create that range and also remove himself away in a way that some people are drawing up comparisons with Floyd Mayweather. And I saw a little bit of that myself really as well, and he's so relaxed in there. He knows how to slow everything down. And he probably made Gonzalez look worse than he actually is. He made him miss so much. And you see similarities between Stevenson, some at least, style-wise, between Stevenson and Kid Galahad, except there's even more potential there with Stevenson. So he could prove to be an absolute stylistic nightmare for the Leeds Warrior. But it's that willingness of Warrington to want to get him in there, and maybe in Ellen Road again, which would be a great unification fight. That would be a very underrated fight of 2020 if that one gets made. Stevenson's defence, the amount he makes you miss, could foil Warrington, but Warrington, definitely in his prime. Although he doesn't hit hard, he's got a lot of physical strength, and that is his shield in a way to barge into your space and then use that great stamina. Boxers like space. They like to work to their own tune. They don't want you messing around inside. Warrington would have to barge his way in there and force Stevenson to fight in a way and at a pace that he doesn't want to. There is the danger that Stevenson is so talented already that he might just prove all wrong for Warrington. And that's perhaps why Matthew Macklin on a recent Sky Sports show was saying Warrington should fight him now before he gets any better. Again, only 22. And when you're already that mature at 22, the way he took his time against Gonzalez, and he fought in a way where he wasn't obviously trying to impress, he was somewhat fighting within himself, and that just makes you that much harder to beat. Normally with youth comes that desire to want to impress, to sometimes get gassed as you go for the knockout. Stevenson from that southpaw stance, boom, hitting you, moving around, knows exactly where you are. You can see he is already going to be very difficult to beat. But Warrington is up for it. It might be happening May 16th if that goes ahead in Ellen Road. I would love to see that fight. Again, one of the really underrated fights that would be unification in 2020.